My name is Nur Azmina binti Muhammad Razi. My metric number is 1190704.
My name is Nur Atira binti Muhammad Yusran. My metric number is 1190716.
My name is Muhammad Adizakom bin Muhammad Saleh. My metric number 1190739.
My name is Nur Naimatul Alimah binti Muhammad Yusof. My metric number is 1190741.
The first part of the written report is summary. It consists method of analysis, finding of analysis, and recommendation. Firstly, for method of analysis, we using quantitative method to gain insight into company's financial operation and performance. So we are using financial ratio, which is liquidity, efficiency, profitability, leverage, and market value. Next, finding of analysis. By that, we know that this company, which is Oriental Food Industries Holding, has a healthy liquidity position. However, it is not so efficient and not so profitable. Moreover, leverage ratio for this company is ideal. And lastly, the market value ratio is considered normal and safe. By that, we have found a few suggestions or recommendations to this company. Firstly, make more advertisement and promoting. Secondly, expand the business by borrowing. And thirdly, tighter credit policy, reduce term, and increase collection effort.
Background of the company: Oriental Food Industry Holdings Berhad was incorporated on 8 June 1996. Their vision and mission like to be consumer-preferred snack food, commitment to comply with requirements, effective communication on quality, and continually improve the effectiveness of the quality. It also have a certified halal, and it divide into 5 broad categories like snack food, wafer, potato snacks, biscuits, and bakery products.
We go to liquidity ratio. The first one is the performance of current ratio. As we can see from the graph, the overall trend is decrease and increase in 2019. If we see at the number, the current ratio is more than 1, which is good, and it shows that the current asset is liquid and sufficient enough to cover the current liabilities. We go to the performance of acid test ratio. Acid test ratio is almost same with the current ratio, but it's not include the inventories. From the overall trend, we can see that the trend is decreased and increased back in 2019. However, it still can generate enough cash to pay immediate liabilities. Next is the performance of net working capital. From the graph, we can see that the trend is not consistent, as in the 2016 it's increased, then decreased, then it rise back. But however, all net working capital compute have a positive amount, which is if all current liabilities are to be settled, Oriental Food Industries Holdings will still have such a huge amount left to continue its operation. Now we go to efficiency ratio. The first one is performance of account receivable turnover. It measures how efficient a company can actively collect its receivable. From the trend, the overall trend is decreased and rise back in 2019. From the number of account receivable turnover, it takes several times to pay its debts. Hence, the company are recognized as not efficient. Next is the performance of average collection period. From the graph, we look it is increased within 4 years and decreased in 2019. The company took around 54 to 76 days to collect the debt. Hence, they need to adopt a more aggressive collection policy to shorten that time frame.
Now we look at efficiency ratio. First, the performance of inventory turnover ratio. The overall trend for this ratio is rapidly changed within 5 years. It indicates how many times they sold and replaced its inventory during a given period. The graph shows that the company possibility could not manage the inventory so well. Second is the performance of asset turnover ratio. The overall strength for this ratio also rapidly changes over years. Each measures the efficiency of how well a company uses asset to produce sales. The graph shows that the company generated each ringgit Malaysia of asset not so efficient because the ratio is. Third is the performance of fixed asset turnover ratio. The overall trend rapidly changes within 5 years. This ratio indicates of how well or efficiently a business uses fixed asset investment, which is property, plant, and equipment to generate sales.
Alright, let's proceed with profitability ratio. There are three types of profitability ratio. The first one is profit margin. As you can see, performance of profit margin can be refers to the amount of profit that a company earns through sales. The overall trend for profit margin within these 5 years is quickly fluctuate. This performance only generate profit around 4% to 11% throughout its sales. In conclusion, this kind of performance is quite low because they are 4 years below than 10%. The second one is performance of return on asset or ROA. It can be used to measure of how much the company relies on assets to generate profit. The overall trend for ROA within these 5 years is rapidly changes. The company might have over-invested in assets. It will cause a failed situation to produce revenue growth and it signs of trouble. Okay, for the last one is performance of return on equity or ROE. It can be used to measure how efficient company is at generating profits from the funds invested in it. The overall trend is rapidly changes for ROE within these 5 years. All of the ROE is less than 15%. It is not good for the ROE itself. This company shown that they are trying to earn profit more throughout the total equity as the trend is rapidly changes. We can see that the company struggle to perform good in this performance.
Net debt to equity ratio reflects the proportion of equity and debt that a company is using to finance its asset. The graph shows the same trend as debt to total asset ratio, which is the number keep increasing from year 2015 until year 2018 and then decline in year 2019. However, the decline value in 2019 is still above from year 2015. So, this business is less risky and financially stable. Leverage ratio. Firstly, debt to total asset ratio used to measure the proportion of companies' assets that are financed by debt. As we can see in the graph, the number keep increasing from year 2015 until year 2018 and then decline in year 2019. However, the decline value is still above from year 2015, so it shows that this company is at lower risk and will be able to pay all the long-term debts by using its assets. Lastly, time interest earn ratio. It shows how many times a company could pay the interest with its profit before interest and tax. The graph shows the number had been declined from year 2015 until year 2018. Fortunately, in year 2019, the value had rise back. This company is less risky as the ratio is higher from acceptable risk, which is 2.5 within the 5 years. Thus, this company has good performance in leverage ratio.
We look at market value ratio. First, the performance of earning per share ratio. The overall trend for this ratio is rapidly changing within 5 years. It shows the profit earned by each share of common stock in a business. The company is profitable as the number of this ratio is showing positive. Second, the performance of dividend payout ratio. The overall trend for this ratio is gradually increase and fall in year 2019. This ratio measures the amount of net income that is distributed to shareholders in the form of dividends. The company paid dividend not too much, so the investor are likely to invest since they typically look for high dividend payout ratios. Third is the performance of price-earning ratio. The overall trend for this ratio is rapidly changing over years. This ratio helps investors analyze how much they should pay for a stock based on its current earning. The graph shows that this ratio is not too high, and this is good since low ratio is more recommended.
If you are an investor, should you invest in this company? The answer is no. It is because net working capital is too huge. Next is the company not realize the profit or value that it could gain. And trend of earning per share rapidly change. Dividend paid is not too much. Company collects its account receivables are slow, and profit margin ratio show a low performance.